and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're well today, hope you're feeling grand, and all is well in your world. Hello there! Bass demo, everybody, today. Bass demo. You're going to have to deal with my horrific bass playing, and I do apologise in advance for that. So, but yes, I have a bass, and I love it to bits, and I've reliced it, everybody. It did not come this way. It looks this way now because of me. Ha ha. But yes, anyway, what is this bass? I hear you cry. Well, this is a Harley Benton bass, and this is my first little delve into Harley Benton instruments, and I want to know more now I have this. I want a guitar. I want a 6-string guitar, not a 4-string bass. But I do love this. But anyway, I want to try one of the guitars. Anyway, what am I about? I don't know. Where are we? I don't know. Let's go. Anyway. Calm down. Yeah, so this is a Harley Benton bass. I don't remember the model number, but it's basically, well, yeah, if you go on to Thomann, which is where all these instruments come from, they're quite easy to find. I think they're called something like the HB50 something, I don't know. But it's basically a copy of the Fender P bass, the original P bass, or called the Telecaster bass because of the headstock. And I've always loved those basses, mainly because of Jerry McAvoy. Rory Gallagher's bass player had one, and I've always loved the look of them. And they're just really, really cool. And I really wanted a bass for certain reasons, which I'll talk about it a bit more in a minute. But I like playing bass. I like just kind of messing around on it. And I didn't have one. I used to have a jazz bass, but I sold it because I got option paralysis off it because there's too many different sounds I could get out of it, and I wanted a basic bass, which is why this one appealed to me so much, and P basses appealed to me in general. So when I was looking around, and I thought, oh, I'll check them out. I found this one, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy that. I want that, and it was like 90 quid, which is like ridiculous, like really, really cheap, really, really cheap. And it's literally one of the best bass players. It's literally one of the best. I'm literally one of the worst bass players in the world, but this is literally one of the best basses I have played ever. I love it to bits. It's really, really cool. Like I say, I have reliced it because it was a little bit too clean and shiny, and I didn't really like the sunburst. I think this bass should have been just two-tone, but maybe they're not allowed to do that. Maybe Fender are a bit like, I don't think so. But I don't think it should have been a 3-tone. I don't think the red should have been it. I think it looked cooler if it was just a 2-tone burst. But that's just me. But regardless of that, I love it nonetheless. And I've reliced it to look like Sting's P bass, his Telecaster bass, because I love the look of that bass. And I thought when I got this, I know exactly what I'm going to do with that. So it wasn't an easy job to relic it as it's polyurethane, but we got there eventually after 3 days. The headstock wasn't originally the Telecaster headstock either. I've cut that down because I love the look of that headstock on a bass. I just love the look of it. It looks so cool with the big machine heads and the big strings and stuff. It just looks very cool. So I did that just to make it look a bit more like it would, so to say. So but yeah, so let's get into some tech specs of what it is before we start playing more and embarrassing myself. Okay, so it's a single coil pickup, which I love. No option paralysis with 2 or whatever, multiple. Single tone, single volume. I like the bridge because you've got 4 individual saddles. The original P bass only had 2, so it's 2 strings to each saddle basically, the same as the Telecaster, and didn't give you much option for setting the action up like you would like it. So this is a really cool bridge, and it's not through body though. The original will be through bodied, but this is a just top loaded. So yeah, bridge is really, really good. It's solid as a rock. It really is cool. You do have a tug bar, but I've moved it to be a thumb rest because I like to rest my thumb higher up. I don't really use it like that. I don't know anybody who uses the. I don't know if I've ever seen a bass player use the rest, the tug bar, as actually anything. I've never actually seen it. I'm sure they do, but I've never actually seen it. So I moved it and put it up there so I could use it with my thumb. It's a basswood body, I think, basswood body. It's a maple neck, but it's a 2-piece. You got a fingerboard glued on. Really good machine heads. Awesome machine heads. They feel absolutely solid, the machine heads. They feel like the bridge. Well, in all fairness, I am blown away by the construction of this bass. I am absolutely blown away. When I bought it for 90 quid, I wasn't expecting much. Because I always think if you're gonna buy something like, that's kind of like, you never want to set your expectations super high because, you can get disappointed sometimes. So I never really I never really kind of like had any preconceived idea of how good this bass was going to be. And when it came and I got it out of the box and just plugged it in for the first time, and it came in tune. Intonation was perfect. It came in tune. It's just the action wasn't to my liking, but excuse me. But it was immense. As soon as I plugged it in, I was like, how? How is that 90 quid? How is that 90 quid? I love it to bits, and it's solid. It's absolutely solid as a rock. It really is awesome. I've had the whole thing apart, obviously, to Relic it. I've had the neck off and everything. And it just, everything fits. The neck goes into the neck pocket like a glove. The machine heads go into, I've had them off to Relic them up and stuff. Everything just fits, like, really neatly and perfectly. It's really good. The quality of it is really good. There's no overhang, there's no sharp fret edges, there is absolutely nothing. It's absolutely awesome. And I need more Harley Benton instruments now to try. And like I said, I've got my eye on a Strat, but I'll have to wait for a while as I'm skint right now. As I just bought another K acoustic the other day. But anyway, I only have one, and it's over there. But anyway, you'll see that in another video. But yeah, so it's dead simple. Like I say, volume, tone, single pickup. The pickup is called a Roswell pickup. There's no aliens in it, though, I'm afraid. Aliens don't come supplied. You have to supply your own aliens. You do get a free UFO, but you have to send away for it. So it's a bit difficult. But yeah, you definitely have to supply your own aliens. But it's got a great sound. So that wasn't funny, was it? Anyway. But yeah, it's awesome. The neck is an absolute baseball bat. It's huge, it's fat, and I love that. And it's dead comfy. I've got the action fairly low because I like low actions on bass. It's not like guitar where I like a high action. I like a low action on bass because I'm a rubbish bass player, so it has to be low for me to be able to play it in any way, shape, or form. But that will go wrong today at some point. So anyway, further ado, let's make some noise. Okay, so I'll let you know what I'm going through. I haven't got the best bass amp in the world, so don't let this bass amp, if it sounds a bit crummy, don't let this bass amp, don't let the sound put you off. The bass actually sounds immense through a really good amp. But the amp I've got is a PV Max bass 75 watt combo with a single 15-inch speaker. It's an okay bass amp, but it's very compressed. It's very kind of poppy, and it's not as open as I'd like it to be. So I'm in the market for another bass amp now. This one came along cheap, and it's good, but it's not my favourite. It does an okay job. So anyway, let's make some noise. Oh, and also, by the way, I have a Zoom G2, Joe's Zoom G2 on the floor for a little bit of reverb. Not a great deal though. Anyway, so yeah. Let's show you some noises on it. And it does kind of do that kind of Sting Police thing, which I really, really like. Because, like I said, the Relicing was based on Sting. So it kind of... It's just got that... It's a really... When you use your thumb, it's got a real nice, fat, warm sound. And if you turn the tone all the way off, you get a really cool kind of reggae kind of sound if you kind of like semi-mute. Yeah, it's really cool. And I say, you get kind of, the tone control is really good. It's really kind of responsive. So if I play like a power chord, you can kind of hear how responsive the tone control is. There's a lot in it. It's not just kind of like off or on. There's like nice little increments. So all the way, a little bit down. And then all the way. So the tone control is really gradual. It's not like some pots which are just kind of like either full or off. It's got loads of little kind of different notches, which is really, really nice. I tend to kind of leave it on full whack or all the way off, depending. But same with the volume. The volume's really nice and gradual as well. If I turn it off and then roll it in, you get a real nice roll in. Really cool. So yeah, it's just a really nice bass. It's a lovely bass, and it's so well built, and it sounds. I love that pickup. It sounds great. I do apologise to bass players of the world. You can all laugh at me, I promise. You can all laugh your heads off at my horrific bass playing. But it's really good fun to play bass. It really is. It's so fun to have a bass just to kind of mess around on it. You can just like be really comfortable with and just like, you know, just have fun with. And there is another reason why I bought the bass, but I'll talk about it in a bit. But I love this one to bits. It's just immense. But I say it would have been nicer if it was a two-tone burst. But you know, I'm just being picky now, aren't I? Stop being picky, Dave. That's one thing I don't like about this PV bass amp. It's just like it's a lot of mids to it. There's not a real kind of, and that's the mids off. I've scooped the mids. There's still quite a lot of mids. But it's not horrific. It's not a horrific sound, but it's not the sound I'm after. And having played this bass through a different bass amp as well, it doesn't do it disservice at all. The bass amp's really nice, but I don't know. I just love it. I don't even. I'm not even that bothered. It sounds really nice. I can't slap bass very well, everybody. So yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. I think the camera doesn't like my SD cards. No, I think that's why it keeps turning itself off. Anyway, I have a plectrum, so let's do some more stuff, shall we? I love it. I love this bass so much. It's so cool. And onto the reason why I bought it in the first place, apart from just having a bass to kind of play around and mess around with and embarrass myself on YouTube with my shoddy bass playing, is I want to start recording and releasing backing tracks for you all to play along with, like, you know, some kind of like John Frusciante inspired ones and some Peter Green kind of inspired blues ones and some Jimi Hendrix ones and Rory Gallagher inspired ones. So hence the bass, because I didn't have one and I was always like, it's like, I don't want to have to keep borrowing one, you know, just in case like one day I wake up and I'm like, oh, I want to record that today. I ain't got a bass. Oh, great. So that was another reason why I really wanted a bass. So hopefully soon I'll have some backing tracks up on my channel for you to all kind of like, you know, to play around with and whatnot. And I'll make them available for download on Bandcamp maybe or something like that. But yeah, I need to record them first. But this bass will do a perfect job of that. I will just be DIing it though. I won't be using the amp or anything. Like I say, the amp's nice, but it's just missing something that I don't. It's missing something that I want, and it doesn't feel very kind of open sounding. And this bass, when you plug it, I've tried it through Jono, the bass player of Duke's Deluder. He's got a Laney half stack. It's a tuba. I've heard it. Sorry, for a tuba 10. 4x10 bass cab and a Laney 400 watt head, and it sounds really open. And on this amp, it sounds good, but it's missing something, and I can't figure out exactly what it is. It's nice though. It's really cool. I ain't got a fret. Or doodle-dee-dee-doo. Terrible bass playing. But hopefully this will get across that this bass, even in my hands, can make you sound like an okay bass player. Real good bass players. I'm sure my brother could make it sound a lot better than I can, and Jono can make it sound a lot better than I can. But it's just fun to have, and I keep putting myself down about it because I don't feel like I'm not worthy of it. Anyway, but yeah. There's a bit of a clunk. That's kind of what I'm after. That's what I'm kind of want to talk about in the bass. Oh. But I love it. I love this bass, everybody. And it's my first little delve into Harley Benton's kind of guitar. A lot of people have recommended them to me, like, throughout, for the last year or so. And I just haven't got around to buying one, but I've bought this, and now I want to try them all. Because if there's anything to go by, then yes. That's the guitarist in me. Ah. Just alter the bass up a bit. I like playing that, even though I'm the worst slap bass player ever. I enjoy playing that, even though it's terrible. Whoa. There you go. That's it. That's enough of that. That's well enough of that. I think I've made an embarrassment of myself enough trying to play bass. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. This bass is really, really awesome, and I love it to bits, and it's so cool. And I bet you can't tell by the smile on my face I love this bass. And I love the way it looks now as well. It was a little bit too shiny And like I said, I'm not a big fan of the three-tone burst on it, but the way it looks now, I love the way it looks now. I love this bass. I love this bass so much. And Harley Benton are doing great things. I think Toman, it's Toman's company, I think, actually. And if I, either way, they're awesome. Absolutely awesome. And like I said, I've got my eye on a guitar that I want to get from them to demo and keep. Because I want one. I want a 6-string now. Now I've got the bass. I want the 6-string. And if it's anything like this, then I'm just gonna be in love with it from the get-go, like I am this one. It's just immense. I love this bass. They come with Diodario strings as well, which makes me happy because I'll probably never ever have to restring this now. 6 years down the line, I'll still have the same strings on it. There's still life in them yet. Yeah, but Dave, one of them's tied in a knot. I don't care. They still sound great. They don't. But anyway, they won't. Should I say? Not they don't. They. After 6 years, I think they might be a bit dead. But anyway, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody, on my horrific bass playing, but this awesome bass. Because this bass is awesome, and I love it to bits, and it's really cool. And it's just got a great sound. I like the way the pots work. I love the sound of the pickup. I love the way it plays. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. Just yes. Yes, thank you very much. I will take it. With bells on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Is there anything else I can do with this? Don't think this is going to sound quite right, but... Anyway, enough horrific bass playing, and thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video on this bass. It's absolutely amazing. I love the sound of it. It sounds immense. I just wish the bass amp gave me more of what I wanted. So I'm going to be in the market for a new bass amp, and then I'll demo that as well, and then I'll show you what it means. But it sounds good nonetheless. And I would be if somebody said, oh, can you come and play bass for me tonight? I'd be very happy to go with the bass, this bass and that amp, and that'd be me. I'd be very happy. It won't bother me in the slightest at all. I just love it. And I love playing bass. It's just good fun. And like I say, I don't know if I said it at the beginning, but I'll say it again quickly before we finish. It gives you a different perspective on things. Like, playing bass gives you a different perspective on guitar and what you can do on guitar. And playing guitar gives you a different perspective on bass and what you can do on bass. So it's quite cool because you can kind of like do kind of certain runs on bass that you can do on guitar, and they sound quite cool. Whereas, like, if you kind of like a proper bass player, unlike me, you can kind of like translate some of the really cool things you can do on bass over to guitar. Like those kind of like Jaco Pastorius harmonics. Yeah. Yeah, that's about as much as it's going to get. Sorry, Jaco, but you can beat me up later. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I've said goodbye about 1 million times now, but I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it sounded okay. I hope my bass playing hasn't been too shocking and offensive. I'm sure bass players of the world are laughing at me, but that's okay. I would be too. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again very soon for another video. Have a great weekend, everybody. And yeah, goodbye now. Have a great one.